It's the Eagle Forum with your host, Gary Shorman.
Hi, and welcome to the Forum on Eagle Television. Great to have you watching along this holiday season. Mason Reuter is our guest. Now, that name you may have heard of. You may have voted for him because he was the top vote getter in the Hays Commission race, City Commission race that came up. Congratulations on that, Mason.
Thank you very much. It's still surreal to me.
Yeah, I looked at the list of names and votes, and obviously you did a nice job of campaigning. I want to go back, though. Tell us a little bit about yourself, then we'll talk about why you wanted to get into a City Commission race.
Okay.
What about?
So I was born and raised here in Hays. To my parents, Vern and Ruth Reuter. Both were Hayesites, I guess. Growing up, went to Roosevelt Elementary School, which now I live right across the street from. So hopefully that'll be where my daughter ends up going. Haven't decided if we're going to do Roosevelt or Holy Family yet, since we're both kind of half private, half public in our family. But yeah, I went to TMP and graduated in 2010. Went to Fort Hays for a little bit. And then moved out to Kansas City for a little while just to see if I could, I guess, find some more out about myself and move back to Hays because I realized that's where I wanted to be and where I want to raise my family. And now I work for Ellis County. Have a beautiful wife and daughter, and that's about it.
What do you do
so
for
far.
Ellis County?
I'm the environmental planning supervisor, so I'm in charge of private water and wastewater systems, planning and zoning, floodplain management, and our household hazardous waste program.
So household waste, obviously one of those things that you have in your house, you take care of that. Do you go around and collect it, or do you just make sure the right stuff gets to the right spot?
We have a drop-off point out at the Ellis County landfill that we'll actually collect from there, and then we'll sort it by its chemical makeup and whatnot, and then prepare it for a shipment that with a company that we work with to make sure it gets disposed of properly.
You know, Mason, that's probably a whole other program. We ought to talk about what to do with all that stuff in your garage that you don't know what to do with. Yeah, we'll make note on that and have you come back again for that part of it.
Okay.
But at some point, it's cool that you moved back. You know, a lot of times you see that drain of really great young people in our community leaving to either go Kansas City, Denver, or somewhere else in the world. You were there. What caused you to come back?
Well, I was there studying for culinary of all things. I don't get my mean athletic physique by eating not good food.
You want to come over to our place for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, exactly. I love to eat and cook. So, well, what I really wanted to do was I wanted to come back and open a restaurant here in town, but life took me a little bit different way. But Kansas City was nice. There's a lot to do there, but I felt disconnected from everyone. Everyone just kind of went to work, they went and did their shopping, and then they came back home, and you kind of were just locked in your own little box. And I don't function that way. I have to go kind of communicate with people. And Hays is so nice. I love going out to Walmart and Dillon's and running into people I know, or even just at Casey's. I'll be filling my tire, and the person waiting behind me is someone I know. And that sense of community. It's hometown. Small town, hometown. I mean, there's not a lot of places in all the places I've been to where, I guess that was Hayes' slogan too, small town charm, big time fun. That's kind of what drew me back. I got everything I need here, and now I can get involved and help expanding it in ways that both I and my constituents think it needs to happen.
When you sit down and you start talking with your family, your wife, about running for city commission spot, what prompted all of that? And because it takes a commitment, I know you have a young daughter, it takes a commitment not only to campaign, to go out and knock on doors, talk to people, do that, but it takes time away from home. What caused you to say, hey, I want to be on the city commission?
Well, when I came back from Kansas City, I was like, okay, I'm back here. I want to figure out what I want to do with my life, and not just my life, how I want to raise my family. So I started looking, and well, you got housing and schooling and whatnot. And then I thought, well, I need to figure out how our local government works as well, because ultimately it's our local government that makes things tick. A lot of people always, talk about state and federal. Yeah, that's a big part of it, but your local affects you immediately right here and now. And I wanted to be involved in it. So I started going to some meetings. Working for the county, I go to the county commission meetings and either present or just listen to hear what's going on. And I loved being a part of it because you can see the people really care when you go to those kind of meetings.
There's some passion sometimes.
There's a lot of passion, and that's what I think makes government is the passion between the people and the elected officials. It's what makes it grow. If everyone just kind of is disconnected from the elected officials and just kind of lets everybody do their own thing, you get kind of stagnant. But when you have the passion that actually drives out the best ideas, I love to hear the best ideas. If there's something that we have and people want to come at us and say, you know what, I don't think it would work that way, I think it would work better this way, we can at least hash out the ideas and say, you know what, we didn't think of that part and it works better with ours, and we can make it work together for everybody.
It's been said by somebody that many of our viewers would know that being a city commissioner is the toughest job in politics because you're at ground level. You're right there. Everybody is either around the corner or right at the grocery store versus maybe being away in Topeka, being away in the national thing. Not that there's not a lot of pressure and spotlight there, but when you're a city commissioner, you're right here, right next door for people to either knock on your door, come by, see you at the store, and make comments. Are you looking forward to that
I am.
challenge?
I said a little earlier, I love talking to people. My job now is helping people, and if they might not understand how something's running or they just have a question on how things go, I love to talk to them. Even if I don't know the answer, I will do everything I can to find the best answer for you. It's just, I think that's what I'm so excited about, is I get to meet even more people now that I might not know or that I haven't seen in a while that have some great ideas for us to work together on. I'm so excited to just work with so many people.
So what have you learned since the election? Because you go through the whole election, that gets spun up, which is kind of, gets a lump in your throat when you're seeing those results start getting tallied there. Now that you've been elected, what's your feedback from some of the constituents, some of the people you know?
It's been nice to hear people give me so much support. I'm usually pretty hard on myself, but the amount of support that I've heard from some people has just been phenomenal. I can't thank everybody enough who either came out and helped campaign with me, put up a sign in their yard, or even just said, hey, I appreciate what you're doing, voted for me or not talking to me. You gotta talk to your politicians. You gotta get the best information you can and weed out the ones that align with your identity and your morals. So it's so nice to have that many people supporting me. I got lots of calls and texts. It was nice.
You know what, Mason, let's take a break. I want to talk about some of the things you would like to see happen.
Okay.
Some of those things that would be goals as a new city commissioner in Hays. So we're going to take a break. We'll come back. Our guest, Mason Reuter, who's the new city commissioner, will go into office in mid-January. We'll talk more with him after this.
Be one of our weekly winners through football season with the Wolf Furniture Gallery's Gridiron Glory. Players go to HaysPost.com to pick weekly winners in the NFL. Prizes will vary. The best at season end will claim the grand prize, a complete living room set. Register at HaysPost.com in the contest section. Football season could pay off big with the Wolf Furniture Gallery's Gridiron Glory. Presented by Wolf Furniture Galleries, Eagle Marketing Solutions, HaysPost.com, and Eagle Radio.
Is someone in here with us?
Ghost Hunters is back with a new team, better tech, and more answers.
This is my favorite part of the night.
We had to flee our home.
I've been doing this for 30 years. I've chased the truth. Only with the truth can I truly help someone. Whoa!
Ghost Hunters returns Wednesdays at 9 on A&E.
Have you considered the value that quality video content can bring to your business? Mid-America Productions can provide professional visual media to effectively engage your target audience. We're a full-service video production company serving Salina and surrounding regions for over 35 years. Whether you need videos for promotion, sales, training, fundraising, or other purposes, our experienced team can deliver for you. Find us online at mapvideo.net. That's mapvideo.net.
Welcome back to the second half of the Forum on Eagle Television. Again, if you have ideas, suggestions, you'd like to see someone on this program, let me know. Gary.Shorman@eaglecom.net. Our guest is our new city commissioner, one of our new city commissioners, Mason Reuter. The new commission takes place, and we'll see it in mid-January sometime. You come into this, with kind of a new slate. Do you have any specific things already written on your slate that said, boy, this is something I'd like to look at? Maybe there's some things we're doing well, but what do I want to look at?
Well, first and foremost, I'm going to get in and talk with Toby Doherty, the city manager, and everybody else working around and see what projects we have either on the slate or what's going on. I don't want to jump in and just start doing things for the sake of doing things. I want to make sure we're following the plan that we have in place, and then see if the comprehensive plan that we have currently with City of Hayes aligns with what we're planning on doing. That's my goal for the first maybe few months or years, to figure out exactly where we're at along this plan, and then come up with some new ideas with the other commissioners and see what we can come up with. So we got to work together as a team to do it. So
have you had much communication with other commissioners to I'll not say team up to do anything yet, or do you wait till after the first of the year to do that?
No, I know I talked to my brother. Actually plays at Paisley Player all the time, so I talk to Sean Musil sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I talked to Ron during the campaign a little bit. Talked to Michael quite a bit. I've spoken with Sandy Jacobs. So it's nice to speak with the other commissioners and see what their thoughts are on some things, and see where we can come together and get some stuff done.
Well, Mason, what I'm excited about, sometimes having somebody younger coming back, you've been in Kansas City, you're building your family like some of us has done many years ago, but being able to build that family, come back and say, hey, I want to make a difference, because if you're here for the next 30 or 40 years, the things you do over the next few years can make a big difference long term.
Yes. Most of the ideas that I want to, I guess, do or implement would be long-term. I don't like Band-Aid solutions. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it right the first time. I don't like to waste time and money. Might be a millennial thing. I like instant gratification, but
not in city government.
Correct. It needs to be done right, and it needs to be done financially responsible. It needs to be done correct. I like getting all the research laid out before, and if there's any ideas that come up before we finalize it, come to the commission meetings. I mean, the best place to talk is during the citizen comments part of the agenda. Every single meeting has one. Just come and let us know what's on your mind. I can't ask for anything more than you speaking to me as an elected official. That's my job, is to listen to you and bring out the best of our ideas.
Mason, there's a lot of kind of big issues. How much time is it going to take to, I say, get up to speed? You grew up during the water crisis here in Hayes, where water is a very precious commodity. That's a big issue. And how long does it take to get up to speed on, years and years and years and years of really history of the water projects?
Yeah, because I think the R9 Ranch project started when I was maybe 6 years old. So back then I didn't know about it much back in kindergarten, but nowadays it's just, I'll read all the news articles I can. I think I've watched every single meeting on YouTube. I'll talk to the commissioners. I talk to Toby. Just get as much information as possible. Do some research on things. And what's nice in being in my position and working for local government, I get a lot of state and local and federal contacts that I can contact and get some more information from them. I like to make an informed decision, so it's nice to have all those people in my Rolodex.
Now, you said Rolodex. That doesn't go with millennials. Yeah. So how do people get a hold of you? Obviously, some people probably have a Rolodex, but I guess your friends don't have one.
No, probably not.
But how do people get a hold of you in their Rolodex or their iPhone or whatever they use? What's the best way?
The best way to reach me is I do have an email set up specifically for comments. It's mruderhayes@gmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook and message me. You want to add me as a friend or shoot me a message regardless, that's totally fine. Those would be the two easiest way to reach me. And then if you want my personal number eventually, I'll give it out. I don't mind talking to people over the phone. But those are the two easiest way to reach me is my Facebook, my personal Facebook, it's just Mason Ruder, and then my email, mruderhayes@gmail.com.
And from what it sounds like, you're more than happy to talk to people, whether it be in a store or otherwise, walking down the street, if they have an idea or suggestion. Now that you've seen him, you know who he is. Certainly a way to be able to communicate back and forth, and we do that really well in our communities.
Yes, we do. Very, very well.
Before you dive into the first session, will you be excited? Will your heart be pounding because all of a sudden now you're on the other side, you've seen it, you've watched it as working with the county?
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. I'm really excited, super anxious and excited to work, but it'll be different being on the other side of the table. I know I like to take in a lot of information. I usually don't like to just speak for the sake of speaking. I like to listen. That's a lot of what I do. But I will speak up when I try to know what I'm talking about. But it's nice to get that opportunity to be on that other side of the table.
Well, Mason, nice job. Proud of you for jumping in and saying, I want to do this, because it does take a lot of time. It does take a lot of energy. Look forward to working with you over the next few years as the City Commission continues to grow. Obviously, big projects in the works. County has projects in the works, and you're kind of a part of both of those. So thanks for jumping up. Congratulations on the win in the election, and look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much. Mason
Ruder has been our guest here on the Forum, a new Hays City Commissioner taking office in mid-January. Thanks for watching. The Forum is brought to you by Hays Med and by Eagle Communication, our community connected.